Today we're going to do something a little bit unusual as we review a product that arrives in an envelope. This envelope, to be precise. So if you are even the slightest bit intrigued like I am, why don't you stick around and together we'll explore what's in here and the very unique concept that it represents. Hello friends, Bill here. Welcome into Bill's Reviews and Tech Tips. And today we don't have a tech tip for you, but we do have a review that is rather unique, I do believe. The product is contained in this envelope and it comes from a company called The Forever Post. They represent a unique concept that takes us back into memorable storytelling and that bygone era, which really wasn't all that long ago, when you used to anticipate with positivity a trip to the mailbox. That's changed, of course. We hardly ever go to the mailbox anymore. And when we do, I would guess that somewhere around 75 to 80% of what you get gets thrown out, and the rest of it is either a bill or a check. Very rarely, maybe around your birthday, do you get a card from anybody. But in this concept of the Forever Post, they are curating memorable experiences through a series of 24 letters that come every 2 weeks. This is the first of the series that I've received, and before I open it up and share some of the contents with you, let's take a look at what the various options are, because you go to the Forever Post website and you have the opportunity to choose the kind of story you want to receive. Let's talk about that a little bit more. When you go to theforeverpost.com, you will see right off the bat that there are 3 major storylines to choose from. The first one is called Desire, Lies, and Letters, and it tells the story of a woman living in a perfectly composed Parisian life in 1950s Paris, and she's drawn into a hidden world where she can finally be herself. So if you are looking for some kind of a romance thread, that would be the direction you'd want to go. The second option is called From Another Time, and it's a combination of science fiction and romance and action. And then the third storyline is called Fragments of Memories, and it's a combination of historical, medical, and drama, and it's the true story of Dr. Alzheimer, as one woman started losing her mind back in 1901, and one doctor discovered why. So as you begin your journey into the Forever Post, you'll pick a storyline, and then there will be a series of 24 letters over the course of 12 months that come to you twice per month. Each of those envelopes contains not only a handwritten or typed letter, but also additional items like postcards or telegrams, posters or stickers, all of them designed to deepen your connection to the story and its characters. You can start the story at any time, and this entire series will come to you beginning with the first in the series of letters. So that's a general overview of how the Forever Post program works. So how about we pop mine open and see what letter number 1 is like. By the way, very impressive, heavy-duty envelope, and it's actually sealed like would have happened back in the old days, where it's the wax ring seal on the back of it. Really kind of a nice touch that they added to there. So I'm going to pop this open, and I already have seen what looks like ancient typewriter font. And indeed, this is, by the way, I'm in option number 2, which has to deal with the Dr. Alzheimer. So we've gotten the seal broken. Let's pull out the letter. This is the first in my series. And on this side, Fragments of Memory, it actually says up top letter number 1. And it begins with what is a handwritten kind of font. Carl brought me here today. He said it would be just a little while until my confusion passes. I think I did something that frightened him or maybe angered him, but I can't remember why. He said he will return to see me soon. I sure hope that's true. And it goes on for a full page of narrative. On the back of this is actually a letter or a response from the doctor, dated November 25th, 1901. Has the patient's name, the reason for admission, the physical appearance, mental status, cognitive observations, and it's actually the doctor's notes and the doctor's plan. Now in my kit, there also came letter number 2 so that we could do a review that gave you an idea of the first 2 letters. Now our patient's name is Auguste, and in letter number 2, dated December 2, 1901, this comes back from Auguste. I've been here for some days now. I know this because the light changes in a way that feels counted. Though I cannot say how many mornings I have woken in this bed, the iron is cold even through the sheets. I think that is meant to keep me still. And this is the perspective of the patient. And then we come back to the doctor's report from Dr. Alzheimer. And this is the beginning, or the foundational building blocks for a 24-letter story. So you get a little look at how the package presents and what the writing is like. And these first 2 letters kind of set the stage for what's still to come in this story genre. Remember, there are 2 other stories you can choose from. And as we wind down our time in the review, let me just share a couple of ideas or encouragements for you. Some of you who are watching this miss the days of going to the mailbox for a reason other than getting the latest electric bill. This is a really interesting way to connect to a story that will keep on building and building. Some of you know a shut-in. Some of you know somebody who isn't able to get out and about, and somebody who really would appreciate a written letter and a storyline. You might want to explain to them ahead of time that it's a story that they're about to read, but it gives them something to look forward to over the course of every couple of weeks. And like I said earlier, the packages will contain letters and usually something a little bit different, a little something extra to go along with it. So it's a very unique idea, theforeverpost.com. And if you will use promo code BRATT for Bill's Reviews and Tech Tips, that's BRATT, 2 T's, you can actually save a little bit off the subscription price. It's a really good deal to start with. I'm just going to tell you that, but we can save you a few bucks off it as well. So that is, my friends, the Forever Post, a unique way to reconnect to the idea and the era of storytelling for those who long for the days when everything isn't just a text message or a social media post. Theforeverpost.com. Use promo code BRATT. Thanks for joining us. I hope you'll hit subscribe as we do reviews on a whole bunch of different categories here at Bill's Reviews and Tech Tips, and we'll see you next time.